book is Mr. Tall. Mr. Tall was very, very, very tall. Quite the tallest person you've ever met. In fact, quite the tallest person you've never met, because you'd never meet anybody with legs as long as Mr. Tall's legs. Have you? Now, the problem with being as tall as Mr. Tall was that life was just one long problem, as you can see. Oh dear, he used to sigh. Oh dear me, I do so wish that my legs weren't quite so very, very, very long. He decided to go for a walk to think over his problem. He was just stepping over a tree when he heard a voice. A little voice. Hello! It was Mr. Small, standing underneath a daisy. But Mr. Tall was so tall he couldn't see him. So Mr. Small shouted at the top of his voice, Hello! And Mr. Small's shout is about as loud as a bee's sneeze. So it took quite some time for Mr. Tall to spot him. Oh, he said gloomily, it's you. You don't look very happy, said Mr. Small. What's up? I am, replied Mr. Tall, because of these skinny long legs of mine. Oh, said Mr. Small. Mr. Small decided to cheer him up. Let's go for a walk together, he suggested. So they did, which of course didn't work. It was like a giraffe going for a walk with a mouse. Then Mr. Small had an idea, which did work. And because of the length of Mr. Tall's legs, they very quickly walked all the way to the seaside. Come for a swim, cried Mr. Small. I can't, replied Mr. Tall. By the time it gets deep enough for me to swim, I'll be out on the other side. So Mr. Small went for a swim while Mr. Tall sat down with a face which was nearly as long as his legs. Mr. Tickle came along. Hello, he said. You look as if you need cheering up. Care for a tickle? No thanks, replied Mr. Tall. What I would care for are some different legs. Mine are much too long. So are my arms, said Mr. Tickle cheerfully, but all the better for tickling. And off he went, chuckling and looking for somebody to tickle. Looking for anybody to tickle. Mr. Nosy came along. Cheer up, he said. You look very down in the mouth. What's the problem? It's my legs, replied Mr. Tall. They're too long. So is my nose, replied Mr. Nosy, laughing, with all the better for poking into other people's businesses. And he went off, looking for something to be nosy about. Looking for anything to be nosy about. Mr. Greedy came along. Hello, he cried. You look gloomy. What's wrong? It's my legs, explained Mr. Tall. They're too big. So is my tummy, replied Mr. Greedy, but all the better for filling with food. And off he went, licking his lips. And Mr. Tall sat there and thought about Mr. Tickle's arms, Mr. Nosy's nose, and Mr. Greedy's tummy. He smiled, and then he grinned, and then he laughed out loud, and he looked at his legs, those very, very, very long legs of his. All the better for walking, he chuckled, and he walked home. In 4 minutes, 40 miles! Mr. Small came out of sea after his short swim. And how am I going to get home? He asked himself. So instead of walking all the way home, 40 miles, that was last year, he got home yesterday. The end. What is your favorite part of the story? My favorite part of the story is when Mr. Nosey said his nose is without his long nose, he won't be able to poke in other people's businesses. Bear, Big Bear shared. Big Bear smiled and rubbed his tummy. The berries he'd picked were very yummy. He launched by a tree and laughed with glee. These berries, he said, are just for me. Birds and squirrels and 2 little mice thought the berries looked very nice, but Bear just sighed with a dreamy grin. He hugged his pail and dug right in. Branches shook on the old oak tree. A deep low voice said, "Listen to me. Share, Big Bear, share." Somehow, Bear misunderstood. He didn't pay attention like a good bear should. He thought the tree said in the deep green woods, "Here, Big Bear, here." "My hair?" said Big Bear. "Are you sure? All right, I guess I'll comb my fur." He slicked his foot back nice and neat, then picked a berry and started to eat. His friend Little Rabbit and a curious deer smelled the berries and tiptoed near. Branches shook on the old oak tree. A deep low voice said, "Listen to me. Share, Big Bear, share." Somehow, Bear misunderstood. He didn't pay attention like a good bear should. He thought trees said in the deep green woods, "Lair, Big Bear, lair." "Lair, sweet lair. Lair means home," said Bear. "It's true. So I'll go home like he told me to." He lumbered nearby to his cozy den. He peeked in the window at home and then scampered back to the old oak tree and gobbled berries merely. Branches shook on the old oak tree. A deep low voice said, "Listen to me. Share, Big Bear, share." Somehow Bear misunderstood. He didn't pay attention like a good bear should. He thought trees said in the deep green woods, "Chair, Big Bear, chair." He found a stump and rolled it over, swerving down the bees-filled cover. He plopped his rump on the smooth tree stump. He popped a berry so juicy and plump. Branches shook on the old oak tree. A deep low voice said, "Listen to me. Share, Big Bear, share." Somehow Bear misunderstood. He didn't pay attention like a good bear should. He thought trees said in the deep green woods, "Scare, Big Bear, scare." Big Bear knew just what to do. He jumped in the air and yelled out, "Boo!" Then Bear sat down and said, "Yum, yum. Eating berries is lots of fun." The old oak tree yelled, "Be nice and share. Don't you know that's only fair? Do you like it when friends share with you? It's the thoughtful thing to do. Share, Big Bear, share." "Well," said Bear. "You could have had told me before." He turned to his friends on the forest floor. "Forgive me, please," he nicely said. "I'm all mixed up inside my head. How could I forget to share? Come on, everyone. There are berries to spare." His friend said, "Thank you, these are sweet. We're glad you shared your summertime treat." "I like to share," Big Bear sighed. "It makes me happy deep inside." They gobbled berries and giggled with glee beneath the shade of the old oak tree. The end. What was your favorite part of the story? My favorite part of the story is where Big Bear misunderstood and thought the oak tree said, "Here, Big Bear, here."